Hello everyone, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel for another Train Sim World 5 news item. And the releases are coming thick and fast. I felt like I said that last time we did one of these, but for all you fans of UK trains and routes, this is news about the East Coast Mainline Diesel Railtour Pack, which is coming soon. And in fact, we know now that it is coming on the 3rd of April. So lots and lots of releases in these last few weeks. Your wallet might not thank you for this, but personally, I think this one's going to be a good one. So we've got the Dovetail Live article, which I will link to in the description. We'll go through it in the usual way. We'll have a look at the new screenshots and just have a look what it's all about. We've also got the pricing information as well. So jumping into the article, a fallen legend springs back to life in Train Sim World 5, courtesy of Athena Simulations. Experience 47484 in the ECML Diesel Railtour Pack, which, as I said, is coming on April the 3rd. We've been working closely with Athena Simulations to give steady updates on the development of this add-on. So it just recaps, they've introduced who Athena are, and the add-on, it was first announced in August of last year. I didn't think it had been around that long, but it must be. There's been a dedicated forum thread by Athena, and you can see there is a link there. Once I link this down the bottom, if you want to go to the forum thread for that. There's been 2 sets of screenshots along with that as well. But the rolling stock itself, so this is the star of the show. This is 47484, which is Isambard Kingdom Brunel, a very, very famous name in the world of railways, as you will appreciate. And this is the newly modelled variant of Class 47. And this retro loco, adorned in western green, was a rare catch in the British Rail days, thanks to its ornate furnishings and distinct heritage livery. Despite declining into disarray, and if you've seen any of those pictures, I've talked about this on a previous roadmap review that we did. If you've seen any pictures of it, how it looks now, it's awful. What a shame. But it has gone into disarray, and this fallen legend though will spring back to life for modern rail tour duty, courtesy of the team at Athena. And there it is. I love that green. Lovely. Bit of history about it. It was built in 1965, and 47484 was one of over 500 of the brush type 4s in British rail service. Assigned to depots throughout the country, 484 spent much of its working years on BR's western region and was aptly named after renowned railway engineer Isambard Kingdom Brunel. In 1985, in accordance with the 150th anniversary of the Great Western Railway, a striking coat of Great Western Railway green was applied onto 47484, and it was finished with stylish number plates and pinstripe lining. 47484 stood out as an exemplary member of the fleet and was often used for special duties and gained the following amongst enthusiasts. Unfortunately, this stature did not secure a bright future, and 47484's green became grime, and its reflection turned to rust when it was eventually put into long-term storage, with no promise of when it may return to its former glory. What a sad story. But look at this screenshot we've got here. I mean, look at the nameplate there and the badge. Look at the detail on that nameplate. Can you see the texturing and the black of the nameplate? Looks like an excellent job, this, just from these screenshots. With Athena Simulations add-on, this unique locomotive returns to the rails in a virtually restored condition. The model features custom 3D nameplates and number plates, including the unique brass BR logo, and the variations in each cab end after the real locomotive was rebuilt following accident damage. Inside the cab, the locomotive systems reflect those present before being taken out of service. As such, more modern safety systems that would be required for running on today's tracks are not implemented. So that's interesting. I don't know exactly what that means. I can see the AWS up here. Not sure what other safety systems it's talking about at this stage. There is with this pack as well Mark 1 coaching stock, which you can see here, and being hauled behind 47484 are variants of the ubiquitous Mark 1 coaching stock in BR blue and grey livery. These coaches have been remodelled, coming in BG, TSO, BSO and FK variants that are both air and vacuum braked. This is the first release to include these Mark 1 variants in this livery and that are dual braked, features that have been requested by the community to allow for versatility when creating local hauled rail tours in Scenario Planner, Free Roam and formation designer. So if you're into creating those rail tours, that should please you, I think, with this pack. Now, coming with this, and we've seen these before, are the Class 40 and the Class 45 locomotives. So these are from the the Class 45 came with the Northern Trans-Pennine route, and the Class 40 was added afterwards as part of the BR Heavy Freight pack. Now, if you don't have those two, by the way, I can heartily recommend the Northern Trans-Pennine and the Heavy Freight. Honestly, I've spent hours and hours and hours on that route doing the Heavy Freight. It's brilliant. But if you don't own them, the good news is that you will get the 40 and the 45 as part of this pack. So if you don't own Northern Trans-Pennine and the BR Heavy Freight, you get a little bit more included for your money as part of this. Onto the scenarios and the timetables. So we've got scenarios for the East Coast Main Line. 10 scenarios in total. These feature depot movements, runaround movements and coupling, as well as double-headed formations replicating special rail tours along the East Coast Main Line. Wow, that's a very moody shot. Look at that with the 45 on the front of the 47 there. At first glance, the inclusion of 47484 Isambard Kingdom Brunel on the ECML may seem like an odd choice, but this locomotive was a regular visitor to Doncaster for regular repairs, servicing and repaints. The loco would often be placed on ad hoc services from Doncaster or York to return the loco southbound. 47484 also spent a great deal of time on the ECML, both on rail tours and hauling the Royal Train northwards. That's interesting. Anybody want to repaint the coaches into the Royal livery? That'd be quite nice. Some of the scenarios have been loosely based on real life rail tours from the past, such as the double-headed Class 40 in the snow, paying homage to the famous Class 40 Christmas Cracker rail tours of the 1980s. And you can see there are two 40s, presumably from that scenario. Looking good, makes me want to just dive into it right now, but I'm going to have to wait until April the 3rd. Similarly, the Isambard Comes Home scenario is a recreation of the journey took when 47484 was painted in the Great Western Railway Special Anniversary livery and returned back home from Doncaster to London. So, how about timetable substitutions on other TSW routes? So in addition, a substantial amount of work's been done to implement the rail tour services into the timetables of other Trainsim World route add-ons as timetable substitutions. So here's the full list. East Coast Main Line, Great Western Express, you can see it in the Diesel Legends timetable if you own that. Cathcart Circle Line, the East Coastway, the Northern Trans-Pennine, the West Cornwall Local, the West Somerset Railway. You can see it up here in Scotland. You can see the ScotRail stock there in the background. Not quite sure what station that is. Is that Glasgow? Could be Glasgow or Edinburgh. Not sure. There it is though. Definitely Penzance on the West Cornwall. Looks quite good down there, doesn't it? Looks quite good. That might get a few of us back onto the West Cornwall Local as well. So implementation into the Diesel Legends of the Great Western add-on places 47484 on the London Paddington Reading route that it was much more commonly seen on during the service, including stabling at the Old Oak Common. In addition, Athena simulations have worked with Just Trains, and the pack's contents are also implemented into the timetables of both Blackpool branches and West Coast Main Line Preston to Carlisle. So we're going to be able to thrash it up the main line to Carlisle as well, which, as you know, for me is particularly interesting. That'll probably be one of the first things that I do with it, I'll be honest with you. In total, This means that the add-ons locomotives to be substituting into some 300 timetabled services across all the above route add-ons that we just saw in the list. And this pack, the ECML Diesel Railtour Pack, is, as I've said, releasing on the 3rd of April for Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Epic and Steam. And price-wise, it's coming in at €11.99 UK, €13.99 Euro, and $13.99. So UK pricing will be $11.49 on the PlayStation Store. So not sure why that is. Some I don't know, PlayStation Plus discount? Maybe not. It doesn't say it's only available to some people. Not everyone's got PlayStation Plus, so that must just be the pricing for PlayStation. So there you go. That's everything we've got in the article, which came out this afternoon. What do you think? Some of you will say it's a 47. It's just another 47. Well, they've made changes to it. It's a special 47. It isn't just the 47. The 47 has always been quite a favourite of mine anyway, since I first got my hands on it when the West Somerset Railway came out. That was the first time I drove a Class 47 in the game, and I quite often go to it, and I do use the 47 quite a bit at the moment on Blackpool branches and on the Preston Carlisle route. So I always like a 47. It's one of my go-to diesels. I think this one, being in this special livery and, you know, playing it as a rail tour specifically, gives it that additional attraction, that additional purpose over the other 47s as well. And, you know, for that price, personally, you know, my opinion, I don't think that's a bad price when you look at where it layers into the other routes. If you don't own Northern Transpennine, as I said, you will get the 40 and the 45. So, you know, if you're coming at it from that perspective, then it's probably an absolute bargain, isn't it? For that price, you'll get 3 locos there for that price, which is, you know, excellent. So let me know what you think, though. Drop me a comment, as you always do. I always read every single comment, and I reply to everybody that I can. So please do leave me a comment. Don't forget to leave me a like as well, and do subscribe. We've got Thomas and Friends coming out tomorrow, by the way. The preview stream, if you are watching this video on the 19th, the preview stream is being held by DTG tonight. And the Dovetail ambassadors are allowed to show content after that ends. I've got something in the queue ready to go for later this evening. So come back and have a look at that after the preview stream. It will be on the channel. Hope you're looking forward to that. If Thomas is your thing, I won't tell you anything about it now. I'm not going to spoil it. Just watch the preview. But we've got this. We've got the Dutch route. We've got, you name it. We've got all sorts coming out, haven't we? Everything's coming at once. You know, go and have a word with your bank manager if you're interested in all of it. Well, there's a lot to enjoy at the moment with Train Sim World 5. It's quite an exciting time. But I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to leave you to it. Enjoy. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Bye for now.